Life is an unpredictable journey, and along the way, we meet all kinds of people. Some who lift us up, help us grow, and bring out the best in us. But then there are those who, no matter how close they may seem, have the opposite effect. They drain your energy, hinder your progress, and hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself. Today, we're diving deep into an essential topic that could radically transform your life. 5 types of people you should let go of to maintain your mental balance and freedom. These individuals may not appear harmful at first, but over time, their influence can be more of a hindrance than a help. We'll explore who these people are, why they stifle your growth, and most importantly, how you can identify them before they negatively impact your happiness and peace of mind. This is not just about making space in your life. This is about creating room for your personal growth and true fulfillment. Imagine what your life could be like without the emotional weight these toxic relationships bring. Are you ready to take charge and reclaim your inner peace? If you've ever wanted to dive deeper into the wisdom of Stoicism, the art of personal growth, and how to live a life that aligns with your highest values, hit that subscribe button now. Every part of this video has something valuable for you, so don't skip ahead. Let's uncover the wisdom and strategies that will guide you to a life of joy and success. It's time to face the hard truths, and with the help of Stoic philosophy, we'll chart a course that steers clear of those who pull us down. So let's get started and examine the 5 types of people who may be holding you back from truly flourishing. Number 1, the competitor, the one who turns everything into a battle. Navigating through life, you're bound to meet a variety of personalities, each one adding their own flavor to your experience. But one of the more challenging types of people you'll encounter is the competitor. You know the type, someone who can't seem to let a moment pass without turning it into a battle for dominance. This person is often a friend, colleague, or acquaintance who views every interaction as a chance to prove they are better, smarter, or more successful than you. At first, it may seem harmless, maybe even fun, as they challenge you in little ways. But over time, this constant need to one-up you can become draining and exhausting. It's like being stuck in a race that you never even signed up for. The competitor's constant need to outshine others can turn your relationships into contests, where the stakes are your personal happiness and peace of mind. What makes it even worse is when these individuals seem to take pleasure in your setbacks, celebrating your challenges with more enthusiasm than they do their own victories. Doesn't it feel demoralizing to have someone constantly make you feel like you're falling short? It's as if no matter how much you achieve, it will never be enough for them. The constant comparison eats away at your self-esteem, leaving you feeling less than. But here's the key to breaking free from this cycle. Don't play their game. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. You cannot control their competitive nature, but you can control how you react to it. Rather than being caught in their race to nowhere, why not shift your focus to nurturing relationships that build you up instead? Here's how you can handle the competitor in your life. 1. Set boundaries. If the competitor steps over the line, don't hesitate to clearly communicate what is and isn't acceptable behavior. The key is not to let them manipulate the dynamic to suit their agenda. 2. Communicate clearly. Often, people don't realize the impact of their actions until it's pointed out to them. Have an open conversation about how their constant need to compete makes you feel. Sometimes they simply need to be aware of the damage they're causing. 3. Reassess the relationship. If talking about it doesn't lead to change, it may be time to reconsider the role this person plays in your life. Ask yourself, is this relationship supporting my growth, or is it holding me back? Don't be afraid to walk away from relationships that consistently drain you. people who support personal growth. In Stoicism, we are constantly reminded that life is temporary, and this applies to our relationships as well. Nothing lasts forever, not even the connections we cherish. So, how do we decide who deserves a place in our inner circle? It's a tough decision, one that calls for a sharp awareness of who truly supports us and who may be draining us without offering anything in return. Sometimes, for our own peace and growth, we need to make the hard choices about who to keep close. It's not always easy, but it's necessary for our well-being. Surround yourself with people who are supporters, not rivals. The Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of finding those who genuinely cheer for our victories, who help us learn from our losses, and who encourage us in every part of our journey. These are the relationships that will enrich our lives, fostering both personal and professional growth. The true Stoic friend is not one who competes with you or tries to undermine your self-worth, but one who enhances your ability to live virtuously and happily. This is the essence of what it means to be a true friend, someone who helps you grow and evolve, not someone who constantly challenges you, making you feel inferior just to make themselves feel superior. Stoicism invites us to adopt a mindset that values cooperation over competition. Our real success comes not from outdoing others, but from improving ourselves and contributing to the well-being of those around us. Imagine a world where we find joy in the success of others just as much as in our own. It's a powerful, transformative concept. Creating an environment of mutual respect and encouragement allows us to build relationships that uplift us. So, the next time you find yourself dealing with a competitor in your life, remember, you have the power to choose how this relationship affects you. Opt for paths that lead to growth and happiness. Choose collaboration over competition. Life's too short to spend it in unnecessary rivalry. Number 2, the user, setting boundaries with those who take without giving. Now let's shift gears and talk about another type of person who can be just as draining, the user. These individuals often present themselves as friends, but their actions reveal a different agenda. They are always around when they need something from you. But once the tables are turned and you're in need of support, they suddenly disappear. A user's relationship with you is one-sided, constantly revolving around their needs while neglecting yours. They are quick to ask for favors or support, but they offer nothing in return. This kind of dynamic can leave you feeling emotionally drained, unappreciated, and exploited. It's a toxic relationship that subtly chips away at your energy and sense of self-worth, often without you realizing it until it's too late. Dealing with users requires a strategic approach, rooted in self-respect and clear boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our responses and our boundaries. When it comes to a user, you control the access they have to your time and energy. Setting firm boundaries is crucial to protecting yourself from being taken advantage of. Start by being clear about what you are and are not willing to offer in a relationship. Ask yourself, when a user comes calling, are you helping because you genuinely want to, or are you helping because they've manipulated you into doing so? The answer to this question can reveal a lot about the true nature of the relationship. Stoics teach that it's not only important to recognize when a relationship is unbalanced, but also to have the wisdom to step back and reassess. The user will often push the boundaries, trying to extract more from you than you are willing to give. But by setting clear expectations and holding firm to your boundaries, you can protect your emotional resources and avoid being exploited. Remember, you are not obligated to overextend yourself for anyone, especially someone who doesn't reciprocate your kindness or respect. By incorporating Stoic principles into your approach to relationships, you can identify users before they drain you. Start by recognizing the patterns of behavior that reveal their true intentions. Are they always asking for something without offering anything in return? Do they take from you without consideration of your needs or feelings? When you identify a user in your life, it's essential to confront them with clarity and honesty. You don't have to be harsh, but you can be firm and direct. Let them know that while you value the relationship, it's important to you that there is mutual respect and give and take. If their behavior doesn't change, it may be time to reassess whether this person should remain in your life. Number 3, the blamer, breaking free from the cycle of fault and deflection. Dealing with a user can be taxing enough, but sometimes the emotional weight of others' actions can be amplified by another type of person, the blamer. These individuals have an uncanny ability to shift responsibility for their shortcomings and mistakes onto others, leaving you with the feeling that they are always the victim of circumstances. They might paint themselves as innocent bystanders, victims of forces beyond their control, or worse, as the ones suffering due to others' actions. It's a narrative they weave that keeps them free from fault, regardless of the evidence to the contrary. This habit of passing blame can have a ripple effect on both your personal and professional life. When you constantly encounter someone who refuses to take accountability for their actions, it doesn't just create tension, it also stifles personal growth and collaboration. The blamer doesn't acknowledge their role in a situation, making it difficult to work with them in a meaningful or productive way. They might even argue against clear facts just to avoid taking any responsibility, leading to frustration and a sense of helplessness on your part. Have you ever had one of those conversations where someone just won't admit their mistake? You know they were part of the problem, yet they find every excuse to deflect. This can be incredibly draining, especially when it happens repeatedly. The blamer will often shift their narrative, refusing to reflect on their actions. Instead of looking inward, they focus on pointing fingers at anyone and everyone else. When dealing with a blamer, the Stoic mindset can provide valuable insight. Stoicism teaches us the importance of maintaining inner peace and balance, regardless of the external chaos. It emphasizes the need to remain virtuous and calm in the face of negativity. When a blamer refuses to take accountability, remember that you cannot control their actions or the way they view the world. However, you can control how you respond. You don't have to engage in their cycle of blame. A Stoic approach is not to get entangled in the drama or fall into the trap of constantly defending yourself. Instead, focus on your own behavior and integrity. The blamer might try to bring you down to their level, but you have the power to rise above it. Acknowledge the situation for what it is, but don't let their unwillingness to own up to their mistakes affect your emotional well-being. It's important to maintain your composure and not absorb their negativity. When interacting with a blamer, it can also be helpful to gently shift the conversation toward responsibility. Without directly confronting them, ask questions that encourage self-reflection. For example, what do you think we could do differently next time to avoid this situation? Or, what part of the situation do you think you could have handled better? These types of questions, framed from a place of curiosity rather than accusation, might help the blamer see their own role in the problem, even if only for a brief moment. However, if the blamer continues to refuse accountability, you may need to reconsider your relationship with them. Stoicism teaches us to surround ourselves with people who contribute positively to our lives, not those who bring negativity and drama. The blamer might make you feel as though everything is your fault, but in reality, you are only responsible for your own actions and reactions. Remember, life is too short to engage with people who continually shift the blame and avoid personal growth. It's essential to protect your emotional energy and choose relationships where there's a mutual exchange of responsibility and support. In addition to dealing with users and blamers, Life will inevitably present us with other difficult personalities. But as we navigate these tricky relationships, Stoicism provides a clear framework for how we can respond with wisdom and integrity. By maintaining healthy boundaries, choosing to surround ourselves with individuals who support and respect us, and refusing to get caught up in unhealthy patterns of blame and negativity, we can ensure that our emotional energy is preserved for the relationships that truly matter. At the end of the day, we all deserve to be in relationships that bring us joy, growth, and peace. Don't let people who are stuck in their own negativity hold you back from creating the life you deserve. Instead, focus on nurturing connections that are reciprocal, respectful, and uplifting. That's the path to a fulfilled and meaningful life. Number 4, handling complainers. How to stay positive and protect your energy. Every group has that one person who can find a cloud in every silver lining. Meet the complainer, someone whose endless grievances about work, relationships, or even the weather can quickly dominate conversations and darken any gathering. It's as if their default setting is discontent, and no matter how positive the situation, they'll find a way to point out what's wrong. The problem with the complainer is that their negativity doesn't just sour the mood. It can drain your energy and even hinder your personal growth if you're not careful. Stoicism offers profound wisdom when it comes to managing interactions with such individuals. The Stoics believe that we cannot control what others say or do, but we can always control how we respond. When dealing with a complainer, the first step is to recognize that their constant focus on the negative is a reflection of their own internal struggles, not a measure of the reality around them. It's important to remember that just because someone constantly complains doesn't mean you have to engage in or mirror that negativity. When confronted with a complainer, it's crucial to maintain emotional balance and distance yourself from their grievances. Instead of engaging in their cycle of complaints, try to redirect the conversation toward more positive or constructive topics. For example, when someone starts complaining about the weather or work stress, you might say, "I understand that the weather's been difficult lately, but have you noticed how beautiful the sunrise was this morning?" This approach doesn't dismiss their feelings, but it helps shift the focus to something uplifting. Another valuable Stoic principle to apply here is mindfulness of your own emotions. It's all too easy to get swept up in someone else's negative energy, especially if you're empathetic or want to help. However, Stoicism teaches us to recognize when we're being drawn into someone else's emotional turmoil and to gently pull ourselves back. Instead of getting caught up in the complainer's negativity, ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this contributing to my peace of mind or growth? More often than not, the answer will be no. By keeping a calm and composed mindset, you protect your own emotional well-being and avoid letting the complainer drain you. While you can't control the complainer's mindset, you can control your boundaries. If someone constantly brings negativity into your life, it's essential to set clear limits on how much time and energy you're willing to invest in those conversations. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being unkind. It's about ensuring that your space is filled with positivity, encouragement, and support. To illustrate, imagine you're at work and a colleague starts going on about how terrible everything is. The tasks, the co-workers, the boss, and even the coffee machine. Instead of engaging in their rant, you could calmly say, "I understand you're frustrated, but I'm going to need to focus on finding solutions, not staying stuck in the problems." This way, you are not only protecting your peace, but also subtly encouraging a shift toward more constructive thinking. In more personal relationships, this could mean expressing your desire for more balanced conversations. You might say, "I hear what you're saying, but I'd love it if we could also talk about some of the positive things happening right now." It would really help me stay focused on solutions and keep a positive outlook. It's important to remind yourself that it's okay to step away from conversations that are draining your emotional energy. By embracing the Stoic idea that we must guard our inner peace, we create an environment in which we are less affected by the persistent negativity of others. And remember, this isn't about avoiding difficult conversations. It's about choosing when and how you engage with those conversations. While complainers can sometimes feel like a relentless force, Stoicism provides a path toward navigating these interactions without losing your own sense of calm and balance. It's about understanding that you have the power to choose your response, regardless of how much negativity others may bring into your life. By cultivating emotional resilience, we learn to protect ourselves from being overtaken by someone else's negativity, and instead, we create a space for more meaningful, positive connections. Just like with blamers, it's essential to surround yourself with people who inspire growth, joy, and gratitude. If you find that a complainer is a recurring presence in your life, ask yourself, is this relationship enriching my life, or is it draining it? In the long run, choosing connections that lift you up and encourage mutual respect will serve your personal growth far better than trying to fix or change the complainer's worldview. Remember, life is too short to spend it surrounded by negativity. Embrace those who share your values of positivity, progress, and personal growth. Just like the Stoics would say, the peace of mind you cultivate today will be the foundation for the success and happiness you experience tomorrow. So choose wisely. Don't let the complainer's constant discontent cloud your own bright horizon. Maintaining inner peace. Dealing with complainers through Stoic philosophy. As mentioned earlier, the presence of a person with a negative attitude can have a significant impact on your spirit. Without proper coping mechanisms, this can make you feel exhausted and drain your positive energy. But how can we protect ourselves while still maintaining kindness and empathy for others? Stoicism offers a very practical and powerful perspective on dealing with complainers. Stoicism teaches us to accept the things we cannot change, while courageously working on the things we can. When dealing with a complainer, although you cannot change their view of the world, you can certainly adjust how you interact with them. The goal is to protect your own peace of mind without giving up on kindness or empathy. One effective approach is to limit your exposure to them. This isn't about avoidance, but about setting healthy boundaries. For example, you might decide to keep interactions brief when you know they are likely to spiral into complaints. Or you may choose to steer conversations toward more positive topics that are less likely to provoke grievances. This way, you maintain a polite distance that shields you from the brunt of their negativity. Another Stoic response involves directly addressing the behavior, grounded in the virtue of courage. This doesn't mean confronting them aggressively, but rather expressing your feelings calmly and assertively. For example, you might say, "I understand that you're upset, but focusing on the positives could help us find a better solution." This approach not only sets a boundary, but also provides the complainer with a different perspective they may not have considered. Encouraging a more positive outlook is another strategy. This involves helping the complainer see things from a different angle. When they bring up a problem, you could point out potential solutions or silver linings. It's about gently guiding the conversation away from the negative and toward the positive. However, as the Stoics would advise, remember that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Your efforts should be sincere, but not forceful. Accept that the ultimate change must come from them. Stoicism also teaches us about the importance of inner tranquility and not allowing external forces to disrupt our peace. This philosophy is particularly helpful when dealing with a complainer. By focusing on maintaining your own serenity, you can interact with them without getting emotionally entangled in their negativity. Think of their complaints as waves crashing against a sturdy rock. Your inner peace remains undisturbed despite the chaos around you. Finally, it's essential to nurture yourself. Constant negativity from another person will not only affect your spirit, but can also make you feel drained over time. However, by maintaining healthy boundaries and focusing on protecting your inner peace, you will be able to minimize the impact of complainers in your life and remain strong. In conclusion, Stoicism is not just a philosophy of life. It is also a powerful tool that helps us maintain inner peace, especially when facing negative people who are constantly complaining and never satisfied with anything. By applying these principles, you can lead a less stressful life and achieve true tranquility. Number 5. Dealing with abusive relationships, respecting yourself, and regaining safety. Navigating relationships, especially those that are harmful, can be incredibly challenging. As we've already discussed, the importance of maintaining our emotional well-being is key. But sometimes we encounter individuals whose actions threaten not only our peace of mind, but our very safety and dignity. The abuser, someone whose behavior can range from emotional and verbal to physical abuse, is a person who can deeply affect our sense of self-worth and trust in others. It's not always easy to recognize the signs of abuse, especially when you're caught in the cycle of manipulation. But understanding the patterns of abuse is the first and most crucial step toward protecting yourself. Abusers often operate by instilling fear and controlling others through coercive tactics. They may make derogatory comments that make you question your worth, control aspects of your life, such as your finances, your relationships, and your personal choices, or use threats to create a state of constant anxiety. These tactics can make you feel powerless and isolated, but recognizing them early can save you from further harm. In these situations, Stoicism offers a profound framework. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to differentiate between what is within our control and what is not. In the case of an abusive relationship, while we cannot control the abuser's actions, we do have the power to control our own responses. This means we can choose to remove ourselves from harmful situations, seek help, and prioritize our well-being. Taking that first step to remove yourself can be incredibly difficult, particularly when abuse has damaged your confidence and self-esteem. However, Stoicism also emphasizes courage, the courage to make difficult choices, especially when those choices are necessary for protecting our dignity and mental peace. Finding the strength to seek help from trusted friends, family, or professionals can feel daunting, but it's essential. Contacting organizations that specialize in helping those in abusive situations can also provide guidance and a path to safety. Choosing to leave an abusive relationship is not just about finding safety. It's about reclaiming your life and your sense of self-respect. It's an affirmation that your dignity and peace are non-negotiable. The Stoic principle of self-respect compels us to remove ourselves from environments that undermine our peace and virtue. This is a vital part of upholding our integrity. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to view adversity not as a hindrance, but as an opportunity for personal growth. Escaping from an abusive relationship can, in many ways, be the hardest yet most empowering thing you can do for yourself. It allows you to rebuild, to learn, and to grow in strength, wisdom, and self-compassion. Ultimately, it's essential to remember that every person deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. No one should have to endure abuse, and it is okay to prioritize your own well-being and safety over the preservation of any toxic relationship. The journey to healing and freedom might not be easy, but it is always worth the effort. And in the end, by choosing to protect your peace, you not only honor yourself, but also embody the Stoic virtues of resilience, wisdom, and inner strength. As we've explored, an abusive relationship not only presents significant challenges, but also offers a profound opportunity to strengthen our resilience. It is a journey to rebuild a sense of self that may have been diminished by the abuser's actions. As Stoicism teaches, this journey is not just about endurance, but about transforming suffering into strength. It teaches us that our reactions to external circumstances define our character and our destiny. In dealing with an abuser, it is essential to cultivate an internal locus of control. This belief holds that you have the power to change your circumstances. Stoicism encourages us not just to endure, but to transform suffering into strength. This means understanding that you have the agency to change your story and ensuring that no one else holds the pen. Remember that healing from abuse is a journey. It requires patience, support, and a lot of self-compassion. Stoicism helps maintain a balanced perspective throughout this process, reminding us that while we cannot undo the past, we can shape a future that values our worth and celebrates our resilience. At the end of the day, the people you surround yourself with shape your thoughts, energy, and future. Life is too short to carry the weight of toxic relationships. Choose peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, and self-respect over compromise. The Stoics taught us that we are the masters of our own choices, and sometimes the bravest choice is walking away from what no longer serves us. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit like and share this video with others to spread the power of Stoicism. Leave a comment below to let us know your thoughts and join the discussion on how Stoic philosophy can help you in life. If you haven't subscribed to the Stoic Fantastic channel yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss any new videos from us. Let's continue this journey of seeking wisdom and inner peace through the lens of Stoicism. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.